Back in 1986, when I started working in this business, there was no thing called the internet. So when I put my first resume together, since I was trying to go and get jobs, I'd go and knock at doors and go and do castings, and nobody would take me seriously because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have a resume. So I put together a 3-page resume of all the projects that I wanted to do. And I put my name on them, starring in all these things. And that was my first resume. And it got me into the door. And as time went on, over the last 35 years, I filled up that thing. So it's no more lies on my resume. It's all truth. But it wasn't lies then, it was what I was going to make happen. And that's what I want to say. Most of what you are trying to accomplish today or tomorrow is the same thing you were trying to accomplish 20 years ago. You're the same person that you were then. If you lose that little spark that kept you motivated, that little piece, like this is my vocation. I love acting half the time, but there's some downfalls of it. You know, a lot of actors end up with personality identity crisis and conflicts because you have so many characters you're playing. And if you really commit to the characters, you become like a piece of clothing and your body becomes what they put on. And the character has a tendency of wanting to own you. They don't let go. What you saw in Anthony Hopkins and Hannibal Lecter, that monster lives in him. That's why we believed it. He had to tap into something very ugly in our human nature sometimes. And as an actor, sometimes I tap into beautiful things. But like with Lucius, and the character I play with Lucius, his life is filled with turmoil. So 90% of the day I'm walking around carrying his turmoil and also the turmoil from me and my own family. And then how do you have time to really bring yourself back to who you are? Because that's the most important thing. That's the thing that's going to bother you more than anything else. You will look at yourself one day and you won't know who you are because you don't remember who you were. You know, sometime along the way, or maybe at 13 or 14, we let go of the little person that kept us going. That little person that was always there, I got you, man, I'm here, I got you, don't go in there, I ain't going in there. That person, when we get about 13 or 14, we get embarrassed of him. And we push him aside and we don't listen to him anymore. And he's always knocking. Hey, hey. And after so long of a time, maybe 10, 15 years, you don't even know him. You show up at your own door and you don't even know who you are. Your family doesn't know who you are. So it's important, no matter what you do, no matter what challenges you go through, you remember who you are. You may think you've been here for 20 years on this planet, but we know that energy, it is forever. It doesn't die. It continually recycles itself. So you know that you've been a trilobite 350 million years ago, or some part of it. Some parts of you were part of a pterodactyl. Every one of us have been a part of everything in this universe. So if we tap into those things in ourselves and remember those things in ourselves, we have that power. Now, my vocation has been an actor, and I've loved that. I've been able to take care of my family as an actor, but that's never been my passion. I was an actor because it was like Jesus walking on water for tips. Because he could do it. That's what he did. It was a natural thing for him. I've always been an empath. I've always been emotionally connected to everything. As an actor, you're more like a medium. Mm-hmm. You know, when you really get there, you go into this zone and you really divorce yourself of who you are. Mm-hmm. And you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now, right. A lot of people sit up there and do impersonations of other folks, mm-hmm. You know, instead of allowing that spirit, you know, but I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place, mm-hmm. Go in the bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror. We'll have the light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off and, you know, and search until you see your own glow, your own aura. And then you watch it change.
Wow.
And it's a scary thing
Yeah.
because you'll feel like some hands are on you,
Wow.
and you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. But you know, if you stay with it, you know, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you walk out, and the character's
Wow.
with you, and you got to know how to say goodbye to it.
Right.
If you really want to
Yeah,
get there,
right,
you know,
yeah.
a lot of people are afraid, you know, to empty themselves and be filled up with something else. But you know, as an actor, you're an emotional prostitute.
Wow.
You know, you put on whatever you need for the John. You put on, you're turning a trick. You're turning an emotional trick.
Wow.
And it's nothing
Yeah.
more glorious
Yeah.
than that.